So work relationships are really weird, right? Right? I mean, like people talk about their work spouses or their work BFFs, and sometimes those relationships translate to outside of work, and sometimes they don't. So I'm a lot. I like to say that I'm not high maintenance. I'm just a lot, which is to say I'm like happy with burger and like fries. But I'm still a lot. And, you know, my friends and my family, they choose to engage with me in all my loveliness and all of my not so loveliness. But my work colleagues, they have no choice, right? Somebody hired me and now they have to put up with me. So I like to think that I have enough like good qualities to balance out the annoying bad qualities, but I do know I'm a lot. And I also know that I'm me wherever I am, which is not to say I don't know how to be professional. I do know how to be professional. But if we're sitting having coffee, it doesn't really matter to me whether we're on my porch or in a cafe or at work. Like if we're sitting having coffee, I'm just me, and that's a lot. So about 10 years ago, I was in a work situation where the environment writ large was pretty toxic. But there were 4 of us that worked in pretty close proximity, and we got along fairly well. I don't know that we would have been friends in any other setting, but in that setting, it was sort of like us against the world. And to the extent that even though we sat in fairly close proximity, we had a group text going. Because like someone else would do something really horrible and we would be like, oh my God, did you just see that, right? And so we had this group text and we referred to it as group text, and something would happen and one of us would say like, oh, you have to go tell group text. And we actually became pretty close. We became friends to the extent that all of us in our 40s had a sleepover one night. Like, we're all moms. We're all like, yeah, we'll get away from our kids for the night. And like, we have a sleepover as adult women who didn't know each other outside of work. So, right, we were like friends. And when you work in a toxic environment, you bond. It's like that movie Speed where like Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, like they meet on a bus that's about to blow up, right? Like those are intense bonds. And so toxic situations engender really close bonds, and then someone goes and gets another job. In this case, that was me. And I got out of this really toxic environment, but I left my 3 friends, my group text, behind. But we kept group text up, right? So I would get like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you missed this. This happened today, right? And then ha, 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 ha. So for like 6 months, this group text is still going. And one night I'm at my kid's soccer practice and I get a message that was not meant for the group text. And the woman I was closest with in this group of moms wrote a text about how horrible I was. And let me remind you, I'm horrible. Like, this is not news to me, right? Like, she was thrown into an office relationship with me that she had no control over, and I guess we made it work the best we could, but I'm a lot, right? I'm annoying, I talk a lot, I make everything about me. It's like, I get it, I know that. And, you know, once my husband said to me, like, I said to my husband, right? I said, you know, you love me in spite of my flaws, but all my friends from college love me because of my flaws. And he was like, yeah, because they don't have to live with you. And I was like, right. And like, who do you live with more than the people you work with 8 hours a day? So like, I get this text that was not meant for me about how horrible I was. And it hurt so badly. Like, I was sitting at soccer practice going like, oh, well, but yeah. Yeah. And I was devastated. It made me really, 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 really sad. And it's, we were adults. I feel like this happens a lot in like the social media age with kids, but I'm too old for that. I didn't have social media when I was a kid. So my feelings got really, really hurt. And here's what I found the most interesting. The woman who sent that message, the woman who I had previously been the closest with, we found a way to make it through that. And the other two women I've never heard from again.